students at Geneva Medical College all voted yes to let her in as a joke, and she was accepted in and was able to study medicine. Elizabeth Blackwell was the first woman doctor, but it wasn't easy. She went through a lot of hardships to become a doctor. If you've ever thought about following your dreams and going for something you want, Elizabeth Blackwell would be a good example to follow. Although you may never have heard of her, Elizabeth Blackwell made an impact on a lot of people because she was able to be a leader and open new doors for women wanting to study medicine. Today, I will be telling you everything you need to know about how Elizabeth Blackwell became the first woman doctor. Here is a picture of Elizabeth Blackwell. Elizabeth Blackwell grew up in a not-so-typical home in England, said Biography.com editors in their 2019 article titled Elizabeth Blackwell. She was one of 8 siblings in her family. All of the girls in her home, including her, were tutored because their father wanted them to have a good education. Her family moved to America when she was only 11 because her dad lost his job. Although after they arrived in America, Elizabeth's father died shortly after. She got a job teaching at a religious school, but she didn't enjoy it. According to New Haven's Register's newspaper article written by New Haven Cincinnati author in 2016, entitled A New You, Your Life Has a Tremendous Purpose. A close friend told Elizabeth that she wished she would have had a female doctor when she was very sick, so her friend told Elizabeth that she should study medicine. Elizabeth's childhood was very interesting, but I will now talk about her decision for her future. Elizabeth Blackwell took her friend's advice and decided to become a doctor. Her family supported her, but her friends and everyone else were very skeptical. Elizabeth started saving up money for her tuition to medical school, and she started job shadowing their local physician. She sent in applications for college, but every single one rejected her. The author Ruth Hume stated in 1964 book, Great Woman of Medicine, that one doctor even suggested Elizabeth disguise herself as a man to get in. However, she wanted to earn her acceptance on her own and work for female rights. After a couple of years, she applied to Geneva Medical College. The college left the decision up to the students. If the vote was unanimous for her to be accepted, then the college would let her in. As a joke and not taking it serious, all the men voted for her to be accepted. According to the National Women's History Museum 2015 article titled Elizabeth Blackwell by Deborah Michaels, on November 7, 1847, Elizabeth Blackwell was an official student of Geneva Medical College. It was not easy for Elizabeth Blackwell at first. Students didn't treat her nicely, and the teachers were very skeptical of her capabilities. However, she fought through the adversity and focused on her studies. Elizabeth worked hard, and with medical school much shorter than it is now, on January 23, 1849, Elizabeth Blackwell graduated at the top of her class. Elizabeth Blackwell's time in medical school was difficult, but she still knew she had a lot more work to do to eventually find a job. So she traveled back to France, where she continued her studies. However, the French doctors did not know that she had a medical degree, so they would not let her continue her studies or work anywhere but a school for midwives. In World in One's magazine article written in 2017 by Richard Bauman entitled Elizabeth Blackwell, America's First Woman Doctor, she didn't want to do it, but it was her only option, so she was admitted into the school. Once she was attending the school for midwives, a teacher discovered she was too advanced for the lectures, so he taught her more advanced medicine in exchange that she taught him English. In Thought Company's article titled Biography of Elizabeth Blackwell, First Woman Physician in America, written in 2019 by Joan Lewis, it says that one day when she was treating a baby's eye disease, the disease got into her eye, and by later that day, her eye was swollen all the way shut. She had to have her eye removed, but during that time, she got a bunch of offers to go to better French medical schools. However, she was recovering from losing an eye and couldn't read, so she thought her career would be over. She got used to it, and her vision adjusted to only having one eye. So then she was accepted into St. Bartholomew Hospital to continue her postgraduate studies. Once she graduated, she headed back to New York, where she would try to find somewhere that would accept her to work as a doctor. No one wanted her, so she started to write lectures. She gave the medical lectures to whoever wanted to come hear them, and then she would treat any of her listeners in the church where she gave them. She slowly built herself a small private practice. She built up enough money to open her own office for women and children immigrants. Eventually, there were more women doctors who followed in her footsteps. And three of them, including Elizabeth Blackwell and her sister, were able to open a hospital for women and children. You now know how Elizabeth Blackwell paved the way for all women doctors today. She fought through major setbacks and hard times to get what she wanted, which was to become a doctor. If you were interested in my speech, I encourage you to do more research on your own to find out how she paved the path for many more women to follow. So, if you ever thought about chasing your dreams, think of Elizabeth Blackwell, because she didn't give up, and you shouldn't either.